close relationship.
Go get him, Aiden! Light compels you!
Like the dust!
Who's that?
Cleanup sequence initiated.
While the light shines bright! Behold the dawn!
The sky's clear, the gleam's moon shines! Without further ado!
Who's that?
A new moon rises. Like the dust!
Who's that?
Road engaged.
Be gone, shadow of darkness!
Be cleansed!
Who's that?
Preparing for dust up. Confirm. Without further ado, divine light, shield them. Light and dust.
Who's that?
Go get him, Aiden! Light compels you!
Lofty wisdom will show us the way. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous. But, unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm.
Night for
It is time to slay our foes with what almighty
This calls for some
strike!
pomp and ceremony.
Love
your eyes.
Where were we? Symphony of cannon fire!
One blast is quite enough.
I'm hitting exclusive! Confirmed!
And now, a towering return to form!
Oh no! Sorry, my dear!
Say cheese!
Blundering oaf! You're ruining the show!
Carving wave!
Our performance has yet to conclude.
I dance for you, my dear!
Say cheese!
It is time to slay our foes with what almighty
This calls for some pomp and ceremony. Good lord, always forgetting your lines. The final act is upon us!
Use of force authorized.
Cleanup sequence initiated.
Ultimatum protocol.
Blade.
You got this! Be gone, Shadow of Dark!
Be cleansed. Light the dust.
Duty.
The Adeptus arts are most miraculous. But unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers.
Go get him, Aiden!
Like the dust! There you are. Without further ado! There you are, eavesdropper.
Oh, the light shines.
Let me You play with me. Like the dust.
The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch.
can do it.
The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Add Astra.
The light will never die!
Defensive mode engaged.
The North wins! I stand against the dawn night!
Preparing for
Burst the
dust.
darkness!
A moonlit night for all.
Divine light, shield them!
Like the dust. Like the dust.
Cleanup sequence initiated.
Surge.
Go get him, Aiden!
Only way.
Lofty wisdom will show us the way! Be cleansed! Defensive mode.
All the light shines bright!
Like the dust. Like the dust.
The sky's clear, the glazed moon shines!
This land holds nothing but promise for adventurers from all walks of life. Wouldn't you agree?
The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch.
This land holds nothing but promise for adventurers from all walks of life. Wouldn't you agree?
Add Astra.
Your support's up.
Surge.
Be gone, Shadow of Darkness!
Annihilation mode. Without further ado, lofty wisdom will show us the way. Light the dust.
I warned you! Looks like violence is here!
Installation chamber deployed.
Go get him, Aiden! Light compels you!
Be cleansed. Light the dust. The sky clear, the glazed moon shines.
Angel! Send.
The moon is barely visible.
Defensive mode engaged. Accelerating. Accelerating.
While the light shines bright, behold the sun!
Installation chamber. Defensive mode engaged.
Installation chamber.
Get him, Aiden! Light compels you!
Without further ado, smite the dust!
Defensive mode engaged. Lame.
Smite the dust!
The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers.
Wow! Huh. But there's just time I can't still. Oh, wait a sec. Wow! It's a huge finch! Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby. So you're the little helper Madam Ping mentioned? Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way, though it is the Adeptus, you may consider now. Have you any? As long as you have a blueprint. Blueprint? Yes, these are the. Just commit the. Then simply. Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole I doubt it. He said this world is a golden eye. I hardly remember myself. Well, let's not. If there's any. Maybe you. If you ever have.
The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start. 10. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic. First, hold out both your hands. We'll start with the 10 fingers. The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. Mathematics.
Magic is all there is to the craft.
The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you. Insulation chamber.
Close your eyes.
Defensive mode engaged.
Observe. Close your eyes. Observe. Be silent. Observe.
Installation chamber. Defensive mode in.
Observe. Close your eyes. The long sleep beckons. Silent. Close your eyes.
Installation chamber.
Watch out! Burn! Up the ante!
Cleanup sequence in surge.
Watch out! Burn!
Defensive mode in.
Leave it to me!
Flame.
Burn!
Installation chamber.
Stay back!
Surge.
Burn!
On me!
Charge!
Defensive mode engaged. Ultimatum protocol.
Decay! New life! Thunder! Farewell!
Surge. Let's run. Cleanup sequence in it. Installation chamber deployed. Annihilation mode.
Free! Time to say hello!
Take me up! Fire in the hole! Defensive mode engaged. Ultimatum protocol.
Not too far now. Go! You're free now! Tell me what you see!
Annihilation mode. Installation chip. Converge. Let's run. Hold on to your hats.
He's free!
Defensive mode engaged.
A moonlit night for all.
Preparing for dust up.
Go! You're free now!
Couldn't transcend.
you see.
Annihilation mode.
Three moons converge.
At least it's not as cold as on the moon.
Others are making good progress? Hope it's all going smoothly. Oh, hey look! They made it back as well! Flintz! Lama! How did it all go?
All is well, thank you. Nefer and Yehoda had to stay at the curatorium to wrap things up, so they won't be joining us for now.
I ran into Miss Anefa and Miss Aino on the way back. Their work is still in progress, so I suspect they won't be back for a while either.
You seem rather cheerful today, Mr. Flintz.
I certainly am. I achieved what I set out to do and came away with more than I bargained for. Fighting alone can get quite tedious, but I had the good fortune to run into a pair of brave young warriors.
We meet again. How have you been?
Albedo! What are you doing here?
Thankfully, tracking you down turned out to be a lot simpler than we envisaged.
These two courageously lent me a hand while I was fighting the wild hunt. When they told me they were Servarka's colleagues, it all made sense. And given how people of outstanding talent tend to cross paths, it's no wonder you're already acquainted.
So, who's your travel buddy, Albedo?
Why don't you come and introduce yourself?
A gentleman of few words, I see. And a rather stern countenance. I presumed you were acquainted with him. Is that not the case?
It's nice to meet you. Again. We've technically met before.
Wait a sec! You're Minnie Durin!
That's right. It's me. I'm glad to see you again.
By the way, he says it's okay if you drop the mini.
Yeah, I'm not as mini as I used to be.
Interesting, isn't it? The first step towards blending into human society appears to be reflecting on whether one's name really reflects who they are.
Wow! You look so different! In a good way, of course. It's great to see you looking so healthy.
Thank you, Paimon. And although you're as mini as ever, I understand that diminutives don't always convey endearment. I'll be sure to simply call you Paimon as a sign of my great respect for you.
Wow! You're such a smooth talker now. Paimon could get used to this. From now on, you may refer to her as your esteemed guide, Paimon.
Personally, when people call...
You're absolutely...
She's been...
Uh-oh. People are talking about me. Hope it's nothing negative.
Judging from your expressions, I'm guessing it all went well?
It's getting crowded here. I'll go grab some chairs.
No need. This is a job for an alchemist. I'll whip some up momentarily.
Thank you for your hospitality, ladies and gentlemen, but I was merely escorting my friends back. I'll be meeting Sandrone shortly, as we still have some things to discuss. It's been a pleasure, everyone. But this is where I'll say goodbye.
We really appreciate your help.
Oh, come on.
I understand. Well, bye for now, Harlequino.
Oh, this place is hopping. It's probably a good thing one of us left. Otherwise, we might not fit all these people in.
Are you saying we're about to run out of chairs?
As a matter of fact, I am. Come on in and see for yourself.
I overheard your little chit-chat outside, by the way. With Miss Columbina's colleague gone, we should be back to the original crew plus the other colleagues I brought in. Though, it looks like we have another new face. Someone else managed to rope in a colleague, too?
Frankly, you and Paimon are the only people I know here.
This here is Deanslip, colleague of Tibet's greatest guide, Paimon, and greatest adventurer, the Traveler. Well, not exactly colleagues, more sort of friends.
When someone else jumps in to do the announcing, you know you're speaking to someone important.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Note to self. Once Paimon knows your name, the rest of the world will soon follow.
When he comes looking for us, it's usually something important. Paimon's guessing you've heard about the Wild Hunt, then.
From the looks of it, you're about to hold a meeting. If I were to say that the Wild Hunt is our mutual enemy, would that earn me a seat at the table?
As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Mr. Dainsleif, there's a seat with your name on it. Though, I can't promise the same for everyone else. Hey, Albedo, think you can rustle up a couple more chairs?
After all this time apart, Grandmaster Varka's first order is to rustle up a couple more chairs. I've missed this.
Is he being sarcastic?
Hey, he's your brother. Why are you asking us?
I've still got a lot to learn about the nuances of human conversation. Trying to decipher Albedo's way of speaking has been like jumping in at the deep end.
Oh, good point. Paimon gets you now. Don't sweat it. There are people who go their whole lives without getting the hang of it. You're ahead of the game already.
I wonder what's taking Nefer so long.
Perhaps you should go and check in with her. If anyone can hurry her along, it's you.
I just got back from the curatorium. Besides, aren't you curious to see what's taking her so long?
Miss Nefer doesn't strike me as the type to share secrets. And since gathering intel is her specialty, I'm guessing she'd prefer to keep her methods confidential. Under such circumstances, would it not be tactless for me to impose?
Oh, but it's fine for me to impose.
What can I say? You have an unrivaled ability to garner people's affection, Miss Moonchanter. Besides, you have far more in common with her than I do.
All right, then.
Impressive. She barely fought back at all. I admire your powers of persuasion, my friend.
As I'm sure Miss Lauma will realize soon enough, the trick in life is to always pitch in with other people's responsibilities so that you can be selective with your own.
Another trick is to simply hide in the background.
Spoken like a true sage.
Anyway, looks like we've got some time to kill before the meeting. Let's take a little breather, folks. And feel free to chat amongst yourselves. We'll get down to business once the other two arrive.
You're both awfully quiet. Have either of you...
That sounds like a...
I dabble, okay.
He's an...
I'm flattered.
If I ever get...
I'll bear that in mind.
Oh, whatever style...
Very well.
You can replicate...
I can try.
Thank you.
Is there...
Yeah! You do have a point there. Oh yeah!
Sure.
Great! And in return...
If that's what you had in...
Oh, okay, anyway, since we're...
Indeed.
Truth be told,
you're not alone there.
I'd
eat Lua is a good...
Come on. Let's just keep this.
That goes without.
Anyone else in the know?
It's dangerous.
Then, in the name of. Of course. Ah, Miss Nefer. You made it after all. But what about you?
I'm here to give you an...
I didn't say anything. Right, Flint's?
Must have been a frog. They get so...
Anyway, before we... first up, we have Miss Lauma. As Moon Chanter, she's the leader of the Frost Moon... Nefer is leading the investigation into Rerer's background, assisted by Yehoda and Lauma. From the little I've heard, they're making some great progress. Over here, we have Mr. Flint's, a ratnik and guardian of the abandoned lighthouse. In our last operation, he courageously distracted the Wild Hunt to buy time for the rest of us. For those of you who've never met, this is Mr. Albedo, a renowned alchemist and captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team. By his side is a new face for us all, myself included, Mr. Durin, who has come to lend his aid. Next up, we have the Moon Maiden and former Fatui Harbinger, Miss Columbina. Then we have the Traveler, who's earned more titles than I could possibly hope to list out, so I'll spare you the rundown. And Paimon, the ultimate travel companion and quite possibly the best guide in all of Teyvat.
Wow! That's a lot of people! Great turnout!
Miss Nefer, it looks like you might have another job coming your way, so, congratulations on the booming business, I guess.
You think I haven't got enough on my hands as it is? Who's looking for me now?
That would be me, Miss Nefer. I have a commission for you.
And you are?
Who I am doesn't matter right now. What does matter is that I'd like you to gather more intelligence about the Recher of Solnari.
Well, it's not as if we never take on anonymous commissions. But in your case, I'll have to decline. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your job's probably more hassle than it's worth. Something about you seems like bad news.
It's my eyes, isn't it?
Conrian, I assume. And what's with the mask? Are you trying to hide your identity? In any case, the fact that you're even still alive raises an awful lot of questions for me.
My name is Dainsleif. And yes, I am from Conria. As I'm sure you're aware, the Recher of Solnari's real name is Rerir. He was once an acquaintance of mine.
Really? Then you must have been quite an influential figure yourself.
You flatter me, but none of that matters anymore. My point was simply to clarify why I have asked Miss Nefer to investigate Rerir's background.
So you're both from Conria, and it sounds like you used to be friends? What am I missing here? Surely you already know how he became one of the Five Sinners.
I'll tell you everything I know. The history of Conria, the names and identities of the Five Sinners. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I have never spoken openly of this before. But the truth was exactly as people say. The Five Sinners were each driven by their own desires, and it was by playing upon these that the Abyss tempted them to their fall, tearing Conria apart in the process. The visionary, Vedifenir, who wished to foretell the future. The wise, Haroptatir, who sought limitless knowledge. Gold, Rhindaughter, who desired to create life. The foul, Surtologi, who pursued supreme strength. And last, but not least, Recher of Solnari, Rerir, Ravager of the Moon. Of the five, Rerir is the only one who remains a mystery to me. He never harbored grand ambitions, So what changed in the space of a single night? How did he come to fall like the others?
In other words, you're saying that his change came as a shock to you, and you have no idea what actually happened?
That's right.
You mentioned how the Abyss tempted them, which led to their fall. But what did that look like in practice? And what other context can you give me about the events of that time? The more detail you can give me, the better.
Strangely, now that it comes to it, I hardly know where to begin. The fateful night took place during the era of the Eclipse Dynasty. One day, my elder brother, the visionary, Vedifenir, was summoned to the palace by the Vinster King, only for the king to gouge out his eyes and cast him into the dungeons. When I came to hear of this, my fury knew no bounds. I gathered together every ally I thought I had, and together, we set a night to storm the palace and free Ved. Centuries on, the memories of that night still haunt me, like a never-ending nightmare. We broke through the palace gates, just like we had planned, each striking towards our separate targets. But then, I was betrayed. Even Vedifenir, the very person I had come to rescue, abandoned me and partook of the Abyss's power.
So, it's personal after all. Then tell me, Mr. Dainsleif, what price are you willing to pay? You, of all people, must know that nothing comes for free.
I cannot say what price would be worthy of such a commission. But know this. Rerir was not always a madman. Believe it or not, there was a time when he was just an ordinary man, working for the Conrian Intelligence Service. Uncovering the truth of Rerir's past is the only way to unravel this mystery. But before you decide if you will accept my commission, I will tell you more about him. Enough, I hope, to help you plan your next move.
Sounds pretty good to me. Feels like we just flagged down a random passerby, only to discover he's actually a master strategist who has a score to settle with our enemy.